The Bulls.
And happy Monday. Welcome to episode 118 of the Plug Talk Sports live show. Your boy, Danny Torres, is back in the house, back on the show. We got Jonka Don't Stop here. I know Brandon's a little MIA the last 3 weeks, but he'll be back. Don't worry. Jonka, how was it? How was it last week? It was you running the show. You had the reins. You were taking over the ship. How was it going? How did it feel?
A little nervous at first, but once I got into it, it was pretty easy. Shout out to
Alexis and Emilio.
Yeah, they did pretty good. Hopefully, we can have them on again one day.
Of course, I plan to have them on more often. Those are my guys. A little quick story, if you guys don't know. They were part of CCNN Live at Christopher Columbus High School, our national award-winning broadcast program. I mentored those two guys as they went through their journey of becoming sports broadcasters. And, Alexis is now doing things, commentating at the University of Florida. And Emilio is well on his way to doing that. He's commentating for Santa Fe Community College. So both of them really, really great dudes. I love talking to them. Last time actually that I had seen them was last week, actually, or the week before that. They were at Columbus for a football game. And before that, I mean, it had been a while. I had seen them in the game. Had drove down from Gainesville to Tampa when we played Tampa Jesuit up in Tampa. And that's the last time I had seen them. But we always keep up with each other, and it's great. It's great. I'm happy I was able to have them on with you, and it looked fun. I mean, I saw clips and pieces of the show, and it looked really fun. I knew that your personality with their personalities, it was gonna mix well. So I'm glad it was good. Let's get into bad news first. Which one did you start off with, Jonka, last week? Do you remember?
We did positives first.
Okay, so we'll do bad first. What's your bad news of the week?
Bad news of the week. Man, I don't really have much bad news, to be honest. Man. Am I got any bad news this week?
Your brother's going to say something like the RS credit score.
No, I was gonna say the Cowboys won again.
Oh, come on!
I didn't get to address this last week, but I'll address it this week. Let's address this now. So, to prayers up for Jordan Travis with he just said he's done with football. And then the rookie quarterback for Emory Williams, he's out with I forgot. It's the longest medical term I've ever heard of. So I'm sorry. So he's out for the foreseeable future. But the season's almost over, so that's okay. But I hope both of them, they recover well, and hopefully maybe Jordan Travis decides to come back to football because he's really good. So it sucks for FSU fans as much as I'm a fan. It sucks to see a good team lose their starting quarterback, no matter who they are. But
yeah. So are you ready to hear my? Actually, my good news and my bad news are both about the same thing because there was negatives and positives to it.
I'm guessing it's F1.
Yeah. So the bad part of F1, I'll let you guys know this. If you guys didn't know, I was in Las Vegas for the Formula One Las Vegas Grand Prix. I'll get into that with the good news, but the bad news, night one. If you guys don't know, Formula One's a whole 3-day thing. You know, they have practice sessions, they have qualifying, and of course, the last day is the race. So day one, we have pre-practice 1 and free practice 2. Free practice 1 is at 8:30 p.m. and free practice 2 is at midnight. So I didn't attend free practice 1 because it had tickets to a show. It was a magic show, actually. David Copperfield, magician, world famous magician. It was actually pretty cool. Which, by the way, I saw one of his tricks. I couldn't believe it. He made the Statue of Liberty disappear. Like, I don't know how he did it, but he did it. And you can find it on YouTube. It's crazy. But anyways, I'm at dinner. I'm watching ESPN on my phone at dinner because free practice, 1 had just started and I wanted to see it. And 8 minutes into this thing, like I stopped watching it. And then like 2 minutes later, I go on Twitter or X, whatever. And I start seeing people like, oh, session 1 has been delayed. And I'm like, what's going on? Carlos Sainz. So here, the city of Las Vegas, obviously this is the street. They're racing on the street. They didn't properly secure the manholes on the street. So Carlos Sainz is coming down Las Vegas Boulevard, aka the Strip, in his $16 million, F1 Ferrari car, and he goes right over this manhole, and his car shut. Like there was a bunch of sparks start flying all over the place, and then his car just shuts off. And when I saw this, I'm like, oh my God, like engine trouble already. Like this is a bad start to the weekend. But then it starts coming out that he drove over like the manhole, and the frame of the manhole came off and it like really broke into the floor of the Ferrari, and he could have gotten seriously injured. So they had first delayed the session. And then they said, at this point, I'm inside the theater watching the show, but I'm keeping, tabs on what's going on. At this point, they say they need to now, there's 30 manholes around the entire track. And now they must check every single manhole, cover it with cement, and make sure that it's properly secured. So I was like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, gee. You guys wouldn't have figured to check all of this out before you sent $16 million F1 cars onto the street? Like, come on. Like, I guarantee you someone got fired that night. Someone definitely got fired that night. So we get out of the show. Great show. We're going to go to free practice 2, which starts at midnight. We're like, okay, cool. We get there, get to our seats. We're sitting. It's probably about 11:50 at this time. Midnight hits, and then they put a message onto the screen saying that free practice 2 has been delayed. So they're like, oh, okay. So, I checked around, went to go see if there's churros or anything like that because they had churros. Nothing. No food. Absolute only thing there was water. And I go back to the seat. It's 12:30, like I said. They have a message on the screen. Free practice 2 will start at 2 a.m. At this point, I'm like, bro, like 2 a.m.? Like, is it worth it? Because then I got to walk all the way back. Like, is it worth it? So I was like, man, like, I'm already here, paid for all this stuff. Might as well see some cars, right? So I stay. It's 12:30, full hour. It's 1:30 a.m. I'm like, yes. 30 more minutes and we get to see some action. That's not what happened. At 1:30 a.m., Formula One comes out and says that all fans must leave the grandstands and exit because employees were not going to be compensated overtime hours. So they all picked up and they left. So that forced them to make the fans exit. So I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I walked all the way. I get back to my hotel room at around 2:15 in the morning. At that time, session had not started yet. It got pushed back even more. 2:30 a.m. That's when free practice 2 started, and without fans. So I started watching it on the television as everyone else that was in Las Vegas. And it was just the stupidest thing because there was literally videos of people having it on TV and then looking out the window and you hear all the noise and the cars going by with nobody watching it in the stands. So the problem occurs for me, it was fine. I had a 3-day ticket. But for people that couldn't afford the race, that bought tickets for, these practice sessions, they only got a grand total of 8 minutes of action and lost everything else. And the way Formula One compensated them was, we'll give you a $200 voucher to go shop in the F1 store. And people were like, you think that's good enough? Like, I paid so much more for the ticket. Like, you think $200 to buy merchandise is good enough?
And the merchandise is like
the 300 something.
Yeah.
It's not cutting it, Chief. And there was reports, and I've seen videos of it, of actual Las Vegas police department having to force people out of the grandstands because they said, I'm not leaving. And I will say, when the announcement came on to the screens at the grandstands that the fans had to leave, there was a lot of bad words and foul language that was being yelled and said in those grandstands because people were upset because they paid all this money to see that one session, and it didn't happen. They saw a good 8 minutes. It keeps getting worse. I know this is a long story, but it keeps getting worse because then Ferrari was penalized 10 spots for changing their car over a problem that was not their fault. And honestly, I think it ruined the whole weekend for Ferrari because throughout the practice sessions and qualifying, Sainz and Leclerc were running 1 and 2 the entire weekend. And I think that maybe Ferrari would have had a chance to finish the race P1 and P2 if Sainz would have never picked up that penalty. The Ferraris were fast this weekend. But yes, that was the bad part of Formula One. And of course, since the moment I touched down in Las Vegas on Wednesday, there was not one native Las Vegas local that had anything good to say about Formula One. They were not happy. When I got back home yesterday, heading over to the airport in Las Vegas, they were like, "Thank you, all of you are going home." So yeah, that was my bad part. Long story, but it had to be explained. But let's go to good news.
Good news. Oh yeah. I just got my. If you guys don't know this, the app Whatnot, you can do auctions there. I like sports cards. If you guys don't know already, I got a Jude Bellingham.
You got him doing the famous celebration.
Out of where is it? Out of 199, 299. So it's numbered. Oh, and then I'm also the anime guy. If you guys don't know enough, bro, this this is I think on IMDb, that does movies, episodes, TV, no matter what it is, whatever episode. JJK's Jujutsu Kaisen's last episode was rated a 9.9 out of 10. One of the highest graded episodes in the entire history of the world was rated. So that includes anime and non-animated, which includes actual actors. Just put that into perspective. Just putting that out there. Great, one of the best episodes I've ever seen in my entire life. Season 2 is peak.
Okay.
Hey,
you heard it here for first, folks. Okay, so my good news about Formula One. Listen, this was my first F1 race. The hype around this Grand Prix, Las Vegas was the most expensive one to go to out of all of the F1 season, which is crazy because this is more expensive than, the historically famous Monaco Grand Prix. Let me tell you, the first night I got there and I went to dinner, I got to walk on the track. it was. I mean, Jonka saw it. Jonka saw it. The race on TV. It was just like, it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful, especially at night. You got the Vegas lights down Las Vegas Boulevard. Like, it was amazing. And for my first F1 experience, it was just so awesome seeing everyone in their F1 gear, like around town and stuff like that. Obviously, it's Las Vegas, so Vegas had great entertainment. There's a post-race party with DJ Martin Garrix. I actually FaceTimed Jonka, and I was like, yo, this is Martin Garrix. And it was just overall great. I mean, obviously not happy that Max Verstappen and Red Bull won. Yeah. But happy that Charles Leclerc fought like a dog, especially that last lap. He's 0.7 behind. Last lap, last turn of the race. I don't know how he did it, but he caught Sergio Perez by surprise and literally dove right into the overtake and finished P2. Honestly, felt bad. Felt like he should have finished P1. And of course, you guys know I'm a Ferrari guy. Carlos Sainz finished in 6th. Lewis Hamilton passed 15 cars and finished P7. That was really outstanding. Twice, yeah. That was really what the heck is going on? What was that?
What was going on? What is that?
I think he was just happy about Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm trying to little by little, I'm getting Jonka into Formula One, little by little. And soon enough, we're trying to get him to go to his first Grand Prix soon. So hopefully we can make that happen and he can see some F1 in person. And then when he gets back, he'll understand. He'll understand the experience that I'm talking about. But yeah, that was my good news. Let's get into some NFL action. Jonka, tell us what's going on in NFL.
Well, right now the Chiefs and the Eagles are head to head. I think the Chiefs are up 17-7. The Eagles are in the red zone, so it's 2nd and 10 in the third. But overall, like this past weekend it was pretty good actually. The Cowboys game, the Dolphins game. My New England Patriots were on a bye week, so we didn't lose, so that's a good thing. The Jaguars are still good. The 49ers are back. The Cowboys played well. Even though I did say it was going to be an upset for the Raiders and the Dolphins, the Raiders did put up a fight and it was close. It was neck and neck right on that last drive.
It was a close game, a lot closer than I anticipated.
I was telling you. I think what else?
Chiefs beating the Eagles right now.
Yeah, 17-7.
Those frauds up in Philadelphia.
And Jalen Hurts touchdown.
All right, so we got a game going on there. It's going to be 17-14 if they make the extra point.
Yep.
And it's in the third, so.
It was a 10-yard rush by
Joe Burrow. That's unfortunate.
Yep, Joe Burrow and what's his name?
From the Ravens?
Mark Andrews. Joe Burrow. Man, who's the other? I thought there was one more. Wasn't there?
Not to my knowledge.
But whatever.
Let's go over some scores here.
Yeah.
Of course, my Cowboys demolish the Carolina Panthers 33-10. The Browns only 13-10 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hey, man. Cleveland. But now they got no Deshaun Watson.
That's the one.
Yep.
That's the one. He got injured too, so he's out.
Yep. Houston Texans 21-16 over Arizona.
Good.
Jaguars over the Titans 34-14. Of course, we talked about the Dolphins, the Raiders 20-13. Lions over the Bears 31-26. It was a lot closer than I expected.
Yeah.
Giants over the Commanders 31-19.
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, I don't know how that one happened either. Good for me. We get the Commanders on Thursday on Thanksgiving. 49ers over the Buccaneers 27-14. Bills over the Jets 32-6. A big kill there. Rams over the Seahawks 17-16. Wow. And then Broncos over the Vikings 21-20. So those are two upsets right there by 1 point. That's incredible. Let's talk about, I want to say first the Cowboys. Deron Bland. Last year was Diggs. Obviously, Diggs is out for the entire year for us. But Deron Bland has 6 interceptions on the season. Do you think they should include him in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation?
I mean, yeah, you could be included. The list is pretty long. Now, is he up there? I don't know. It's gonna be tough to. It's tough to to go up against TJ Watt or Aaron Donald or Michael Parsons. Either way, that too. Like,
Yeah.
it's really hard because if for a cornerback, if you're not catching interceptions, or getting maybe one sack every 2 games, you're not really getting much action unless the ball goes to you. So it'll be kind of difficult for him to even win it.
No receivers, especially big time receivers, have been getting any yards off of Deron Bland, if we're being honest.
It's gonna be tough. I'm gonna say the Thanksgiving game is gonna be a tough one.
Now, there was an interesting stat of Stephon Gilmore and the Patriots in 2019 when he won Defensive Player of the Year compared to Deron Bland's current stats this year. And Bland had better stats than Gilmore when Gilmore won that award in 2019. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see, I think. So yeah, Cowboys advance their record. They're on a collision. To be honest with you, they're in a collision course with Philadelphia. They really are. And I think the next few games for Dallas are very interesting. They got the Washington Commanders this Thursday on Thanksgiving.
That might be a trap game, but then, you know.
Then they got the Seattle Seahawks the following week. Then they have the Philadelphia Eagles after that. Then they have the Buffalo Bills after that. And then they have the Miami Dolphins.
That's a tough 5 year. That's a tough 5-game stretch, bro.
It's a tough 5. How many wins? I sent it to you on Twitter. How many wins do you think Dallas gets out of that?
So you said, hold up, let me write this down. So you said
Washington,
Seattle,
Philadelphia,
Philly,
Buffalo,
and then Miami.
Yep. How
You
many
should-
wins do you think
you
the
should-
Cowboys got at?
You should beat Washington because after what we just saw, I don't know. Seattle, they're up and down.
They just lost by 1 point to Rams, and we beat the Rams.
Yeah, but this game, the NFL is so flip flop. I don't even know what to say anymore.
It is.
I'll say a W for the Seahawks.
Okay, that's up to 2 wins.
Now the Philly game is gonna be at Dallas, so I'll take.
That's a 50-50 coin toss right there.
Bro, I don't even know anymore. I'm gonna throw that up in the air. I'm gonna do a question mark. Buffalo was always a hit or miss for me. I'm gonna say L. It's gonna be a W for you, and then Miami, W.
So 4 wins out of the 5?
4 and then a question mark.
Okay.
The Philly one is there. It's a rivalry game. Anything can happen on that game. Tensions get high. It can go either way. Buffalo, I don't trust Buffalo anymore. Miami, they're questionable for me. They haven't been able to beat anybody above a 500.
Do you think Miami are frauds?
Right now, they're potentially pretenders because they have the capability of being a contender, but they always somehow play good against the bad teams, but then they lose to the good teams, and so they're in that little space like where like they need to show what they can be to take that next step, and I haven't seen it yet. So that until they do that, until they show me otherwise, they're in that little space, in that little gap.
Okay. All right. So let's look at the standings here. Uh, what is your brother saying?
He's like, he's just like, oh, buddy.
It's true. I agree with you. I agree with you. I really do. Uh, let's look at the standings here. AFC East, we have the Dolphins, the Bills, the Jets, and your Patriots. Uh, AFC North, Ravens, Browns, which that division is just wow. Whew. Ravens, Browns, Steelers, and Bengals. AFC South, we have the Jaguars, the Texans, Colts, and Titans. AFC West, Chiefs, the Broncos. Broncos are kind of turning it around, I'm not going to lie.
Are they in a 5-game win streak?
Yeah, they're kind of turning it around. They hit the 500 mark.
They're not the same team that the Dolphins played. Just letting everybody know.
And then Raiders and Chargers. Then we head to the NFC. NFC East, Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders, Giants. NFC North, which is a garbage division right now. Lions, Vikings, Packers, and Bears.
I would actually say the Vikings and the Lions are making a little bit of a run with Joshua Dobbs. They're doing way better than what they had with Christian Kirk. Lions, they're there, but as of Green Bay, Chicago, no.
NFC South, another garbage division. Saints, Falcons, Buccaneers, Panthers. And then NFC West, 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals. So if the playoffs were to start today, remember it's 1 through 7.
Okay.
In the AFC, number 1 seed is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
Number 2 seed, the Baltimore Ravens. Number 3 seed, the Jacksonville Jaguars. The 4th seed, the Miami Dolphins. The 5th seed, Cleveland Browns. The 6th seed, Houston Texans. And the 7th seed, Pittsburgh Steelers. So this is hypothetical and potentially still lots of football to be played. The playoffs started today. The Chiefs would get the first round bye. The Ravens would play the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who do you think wins there? Baltimore or Pittsburgh? Yeah.
Ravens.
Jacksonville would play Houston. Jaguars or Texans?
Listen, if that game is in prime time, Trevor Lawrence with CJ Stroud would be the most absolute littest game I would watch, bro. I'm gonna say Trevor because he has the playoff experience from last year, and so he knows the feeling already.
Okay. And then Miami against Cleveland. I knew it.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Don't say it, bro. Don't say
it. They're right there. They're as of shockingly.
They're both 7-3.
It's what I'm saying. Like, as good as the Miami fan base wants to talk about how good they are, the Browns are right are the same record. So I just want to put that out there. Ah, man. Miami or Cleveland? No, I said it.
It's a tough one.
If Tua's healthy, I'll say Miami. If Tua's healthy.
Okay. Now here's where it gets difficult. This leads us to the second round. Chiefs against Dolphins. And then Baltimore against Jacksonville.
I'd say Baltimore over Jacksonville because I think Jacksonville don't have enough weapons to deal to deal with the defense. So
Okay, so you got Baltimore, the AFC Championship game.
And then
Kansas City, Miami.
And that would be at Kansas City.
Yeah.
Bingo. Because the Kansas City won in Germany because they got off to that hot start and a bunch of terrible errors. And I don't know what happened with Tyreek and that fumble. So I don't know. Patrick Mahomes, he's been in that situation every year, bro. It's kind of hard to like say no to that. Like seriously.
Yeah.
But this year the offense has been a little bit suspect, and the Dolphins their defense has been looking better with Jalen Ramsey. I would take Miami with the upset.
Okay, so you got Miami, dude. You got Miami in the AFC Championship game.
Hey, remember, anything can happen. This is right now. Things can flux. They can go up and down. Like Stephen A. The list is fluid. It's fluid.
Okay.
Remember, because at this point, Miami can go down, up or down, and they can face Baltimore in the first round. Who knows? And then lose the first round. Miami can lose to Jacksonville if they play Jacksonville.
Bro, so Miami, Baltimore, AFC Championship game.
Baltimore.
So you got Baltimore into the Super Bowl.
Baltimore.
Okay. Let's go to the NFC. Right now, the Eagles are the first seed. Detroit Lions are the second seed.
Nuts.
San Francisco 49ers are the third seed. New Orleans Saints are the fourth seed. Dallas Cowboys are the fifth seed. Seattle Seahawks are the sixth seed. And Minnesota Vikings are the seventh seed. Chanka. Eagles get the first round bye. Lions Vikings. Whew!
With JJ back, that's gonna be tough. That Lions, bro. They're on their momentum is on a hot streak right now, bro. Like, I think I got the Lions, bro. I think I got the Lions.
Okay. 49ers Seahawks. You're going with Seattle, aren't you?
No, I'm gonna go with the 49ers.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for it. I can't. There's no way. All
right.
As much as I like going off script sometimes, that's no way. I'd be shocked if that happens.
Saints or Cowboys?
Cowboys.
Okay, bro.
Listen, Daniel. Listen. I love you, bro. But listen. If you lose to the Saints in the first round, vaya con Dios.
Listen to me. So the second round, Eagles against Cowboys.
That would be at Eagles, which is gonna be tough for you. Depending on how the Cowboys beat the Saints, will determine the outcome for that game. But as of right now, I gotta see how does Dak play in that game against the Saints, because that will just put in the momentum heading into that game. Oh boy. That tush push, bro. I got the Cowboys.
Yeah. All right.
I think that offense, little by little, like even today, even against the Chiefs, they're struggling a little bit. If the Cowboys defense can smother them up, it's gonna be hard because they're at home. But if you can do it, it would be a huge upset.
49ers Lions.
That,
That's a good game right there, bro.
49ers and Lions. That would be well. That would be at Lions at this point, right? At Detroit.
Yes.
Man, Detroit's gonna be loud. Oh boy, I would go to that game. I'm not gonna lie. I think, I think as much as I like the Lions, I mean, I would love them to win. I would love for them to win this game. That would just give them like Cinderella story. But I just think 49ers, they got the experience. They got players they've been in this situation already. They know what they have to do. They know how they have to play. They've been in the situation already. I think I think they got the dub on this one. I think for San Francisco Cowboys again.
Jaka, NFC Championship game, bro.
Oh
San
my,
Francisco, Dallas. Oh my God.
bro. Your offense better figure something out, bro. Whew. Because with McCaffrey back, Debo's back, they're looking good again, bro. Forget that little 3-4 game losing streak they had. They're back. So it would suck for you to lose 3 years in a row to the 49ers.
It would. Come on, say it.
I think I got the 49ers.
All right. So you got the Ravens and the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
It's going to be a rematch from, I think, 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah. Ray Lewis's last season. And Colin Kaepernick in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
There
he is.
Who do you have in the Ravens 49ers Super Bowl?
I know the San Francisco fans have been suffering for many years, but I'm gonna have to say it. My South Florida native, Lamar Jackson, is gonna win his first Super Bowl, and all the Miami Dolphins fans that told me, no, why should we go for Lamar? We have Tua. Don't sign Lamar. It's a waste of money. He's always injured. He has no arm. All he does is run. Lamar Jackson wins the Super Bowl, and I get to talk crap to everybody, especially the person over here. Oh,
Let's let's go into some college football. Let's go over the rankings. So at 1, we have Georgia. At 2, we have Ohio State. That's pretty interesting. They got one spot up. Falling to 3 is Michigan. At 4 is Washington. And at 5, falling out of the top 4 is Florida State. At 6 is Oregon. At 7 is Texas. At 8 is Alabama. At 9 is Louisville. At 10 is Mizzou. At 11 is Penn State. At 12 is Ole Miss. At 13 is Oklahoma. At 14 is LSU. At 15 is Oregon State. At 16 is Arizona. At 17 is Notre Dame. At 18 is Tulane. At 19 is Kansas State. At 20 is Iowa. At 21 is Oklahoma State. At 22 is Liberty. At 23 is Toledo. At 24 is James Madison. And at 25 is Tennessee. What do you think of these rankings?
listen, I know their rankings. I understand that they're rankings, but let's do some common sense. Let's just use some common sense. Do you actually believe that Liberty, Toledo, and James Madison, or let's say they had a head-to-head matchup with Tennessee, that one of them would win?
No.
No, right? So let's take this rankings a little bit to the side because they're a little bit. This is blasphemous right now. So Tennessee should be higher than these three because there's no way in the head-to-head they would win. Notre Dame, I don't know why they're still there. I don't know why they're still there. They've lost to a bunch of ranked teams already. Let me see. What else? What else? FSU, I know they won. They lost Jordan Travis, so they took that into account. They fell one. Washington, they had a big game against I think it was Oregon State. Yeah, and they won. That's a ring game. That put them over the edge over number 4. Michigan fell one. I can agree. Ohio State. That's this upcoming week, right? Michigan, Ohio State.
Yeah.
That's going to be. That has playoff implications right there. And then Georgia, I agree, number 1. They should have always been a number 1. They should have never been out at 2. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, I think that's all. Everything else is good here. I think we're good.
FIU season is done. They get destroyed by Arkansas. They got destroyed against Middle Tennessee. They're 4-6. I have one game left against Western Kentucky. That's a hard game as well.
I mean, if they play well, they played well. They tried their best against Arkansas. I mean, like we kind of knew. Like at the beginning of the first half, it was a little bit like it was there, but then Arkansas just blew it out the water, and then
it's looking like it's gonna be a 4-7 season. To be honest with you,
4-8.
Let me tell you, Miami's season. That's just. You told me, they've improved from last year. I think.
I mean, they have technically
5-7. Have they though?
Yes. I mean that Georgia Tech game that should have just been a knee. That would have been a win right there.
Listen,
that was just stupidity.
Have they though? When in the last 2 years they've only won 2 conference games.
Yeah, but we knew that we're trash. I've been telling you they've been trash. But from what the trash from last year compared to this year, come on, like
I don't know, man. Only
look, watch. We played against Florida State. It was a tough game. So imagine the number 4 team in the country. We basically fought to the very end, with a rookie.
That's a rivalry game. You never know where you're gonna get there.
Yeah, but last year they blew us out by 40, and we were trash last year. And then we go to play number 10 Louisville, and we lose that game in the last drive. It's like we're right there. We're losing games like right there. Number 12 North Carolina, we lost by 10. That was right there, ranked opponent. We finally got over the hump against Clemson. We beat Texas A&M in week 2, where everybody thought we were getting obliterated. Even you did.
Yeah.
We thought we were like, hey, like little steps. Look, even the coach for FSU, I think Mike Norvell, his first 2 years at FSU, he was 3-8, and then next year he was 5-7. That's worse than the Mario Cristobal as right now. So you can't really. We gotta wait until maybe the next 2 years, see what happens. But as of right now, with what I know, what I've seen from FSU, they've recruited well. They've been playing better every year. So I just gotta wait at this point.
Okay. All right. Let's look at the projected bowl games.
That's what I was looking for that yesterday, and I
yes,
they have it. Okay, I gotta hear this.
We'll go through it. The Fiesta Bowl, Texas against Tulane.
Texas.
The Orange Bowl, Louisville against Ohio State.
That's the Orange Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm going to that. Ooh. Let's go Louisville.
Okay. The Peach Bowl, Mizzou against Penn State.
Mizzou.
Cotton Bowl, Washington against Alabama.
Let's go Washington. I'm not going for no Crimson side.
Citrus Bowl, Iowa or Ole Miss?
Ole Miss.
Aurelia Quest Bowl, NC State or LSU?
LSU. Jaden Daniels is a stud.
Arizona Bowl, Fresno State or Miami, Ohio?
Miami, Ohio. They're really good. I think they're 9-2 right now.
Music City Bowl, Wisconsin or Texas A&M?
Say it again.
The Music City Bowl, Wisconsin, Texas A&M.
Wisconsin. No. Yeah, I'll say Wisconsin.
Liberty Bowl, West Virginia or Mississippi State?
Mississippi.
Sun Bowl, Miami, Utah. Bro, I'm sorry, man.
Oh my
I'm
god.
sorry, bro, but Utah's gonna get that dub.
I'm gonna have to say Miami because I can't say anything else.
I'm sorry, bro, but Utah's gonna get that dub.
Shut up.
The Gator Bowl, North Carolina, Tennessee.
North Carolina, Tennessee. Man, with Drake May, I think UNC gets it.
The Alamo Bowl, Oklahoma, Arizona.
Oklahoma, Arizona. Arizona's sneaky this year. I'll take Oklahoma though.
The Pop-Tarts Bowl, Notre Dame or Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State.
Yeah. The Pinstripe Bowl, Georgia Tech or Rutgers.
Man, Rutgers gave Ohio State a run for their money. You know what? Let's go Georgia Tech. Represent the ACC.
Fenway Bowl, Boston College or USF.
USF.
Texas Bowl, Kansas State or Auburn.
Kansas State. Auburn.
Holiday Bowl, Clemson or Oregon State.
Oregon State.
The Duke's Mayo Bowl, Duke or Kentucky.
Duke.
The Military Bowl, Virginia Tech or Memphis.
Memphis.
The Guaranteed Rate Bowl, Kansas or Maryland.
Kansas or Maryland. That's tough. Kansas has been they surprisingly did good this year. I'm gonna say Kansas.
First Responder Bowl, University of Louisiana or Colorado State.
Colorado State or who else?
University of Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns.
Oh. Colorado State.
All right. Quick Lane Bowl, Northwestern or NIU.
NIU. Northwestern.
Hawaii Bowl, Utah State or Rice.
Utah State or Rice. Utah State or Rice. I'll say to Utah State.
Okay. Las Vegas Bowl, Illinois or UCLA.
UCLA.
68 Ventures Bowl, UTSA or Georgia Southern.
UTSA.
Idaho Potato Bowl, Bowling Green or Wyoming.
Bowling Green.
The Armed Forces Bowl, Texas Tech or Air Force.
Air Force.
All right, we're almost there. The Camellia Bowl, Old Dominion or Western Kentucky.
Western Kentucky.
The Birmingham Bowl, Georgia State or San Jose State.
I'll say San Jose. San Jose.
The Gasparilla Bowl, Syracuse against Southern Alabama.
Syracuse.
Boca Raton Bowl. Coastal Carolina or Minnesota?
Minnesota.
The Frisco Bowl. SMU or Troy?
SMU.
The Bahamas Bowl. Jacksonville State or Ohio?
Jacksonville State or Ohio. Ohio.
The Independence Bowl. Iowa State or Texas State?
Iowa State.
Los Angeles Bowl. UNLV or USC?
USC.
The New Mexico Bowl. Boise State or New Mexico State?
Say it again.
The New Mexico Bowl is Boise State or New Mexico State?
New Mexico State.
The Cure Bowl. Arkansas State or UCF?
UCF, bro. Go Knights. That's what we're talking about.
New Orleans Bowl. Liberty or James Madison?
Liberty.
And then the Myrtle Beach Bowl. Appalachian State against Toledo.
I'm going to take Toledo because it's fun to say.
All right. That was our college football section. Let's get into some NBA talk. Let's give you some scores around the association right now. Warriors up 51-46 on the Houston Rockets in the second quarter. The Miami Heat demolished the Chicago Bulls 118-100. The Charlotte Hornets in overtime, 121-118 over the Boston Celtics. Denver Nuggets 107-103 over the Detroit Pistons. Oh my Lord. Milwaukee Bucks 142 over 129 the Washington Wizards. The Minnesota Timberwolves beat the New York Knicks 117-100. The New Orleans Pelicans win 129-93 over the Sacramento Kings. And the Los Angeles Clippers defeat the San Antonio Spurs 124-99. Let's look at the current standings in the East. At number 1 is the Boston Celtics. At number 2 is the Philadelphia 76ers. At 3 is the Milwaukee Bucks. At 4 is the Miami Heat. At 5 is the Orlando Magic. At 6 is the Indiana Pacers. At 7 is the New York Knicks. And at 8 is the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's look at the West. At 1 in the West is the Minnesota Timberwolves. Wow. At 2 is the Denver Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
At 3, the Oklahoma City Thunder. At 4 is the Dallas Mavericks. At 5 is the Sacramento Kings. At 6 is the Los Angeles Lakers. At 7 is the Houston Rockets. And at 8 is the Phoenix Suns. What do you think of the standings? I think the West shocked me a lot more than the East.
I knew OKC was going to be good. Golden State right now is that nobody's helping Steph. Clay, bum of himself. Draymond suspended for 5 games for trying to chokehold somebody. Like, it's right now the Warriors are a cancer with nobody's helping Steph, bro. Like, Andrew Wiggins just have a big game, but
I know you're very adamant on the Golden State Warriors.
I'm going for the Warriors and the Heat, but like it's just no one's helping Steph right now. Steph is like he can go for 50, but everybody else is hitting like only going for 3 points, 5 points. No one can go double digits anymore because it's like there's no help. Chris Paul's doing his thing, but like
Miami's been surprising me, bro.
Hey. They have been playing some bums, not gonna lie. They did lose on Saturday to Chicago Bulls when they were up 22-1 in the first quarter. And so
they could have extended the streak to 8.
Until they start playing some good teams, I'll wait and see.
Have you noticed, by the way, that every time Miami goes on a streak, it's Chicago's the team that ends it? You remember when Miami went on a 20 with LeBron 27 game winning streak, and Chicago was the team that ended it?
I went to the fair that day and I came back hauling.
I was with you. I went to the fair with you. Yes.
Okay, I guess. Yeah, that game was just brings back memories. But whatever. Boston, they're
Are you gonna say they're pretenders? Oh, don't let Brandon hear you.
no, I can't say I can't say Boston's a pretender. There's no way. I'd just be lying. But Philadelphia 10-3, Milwaukee 10-4.
Philadelphia did surprise me.
Tyrese Maxey, hey bro, he's taking the leap. He's taking the leap that I need Tyler Hero to take.
Oh, come on. Tyler's been balling out so far early on this season.
But Tyler's been balling, but he's not balling as like that guy. Like
nobody.
It's like there's Embiid and there's Maxey, but then in the Heat it's Jimmy and Bam, and then Hero's like the third wheel. Like when you and on the Sixers, it's Embiid and Maxey. Like we know. I haven't seen. I need that Hero from the bubble, bro. When he was like with the, I need some of that attitude, bro. That's what I need. I need that him energy from Hero when he on the court, but I'm not getting it. But that's fine. They're still 9-5.
Okay.
Who do they play next, man? They play the Cavaliers.
We both said it. I will say, you and I both said it about Orlando and Indiana.
Hey, Pablo Banchero and Indiana. I'm telling you, bro, they can beat anyone. Let me see. They play the Cavaliers and they play the Knicks, then the Nets, then the Bucks, then the pay. Okay, so the next like 5 games is going to be a bit interesting, but as of right now, I better not see anybody taking days off or anything like that because right now the East is very tight because it's early in the season. There isn't a really big gap between games, so you can lose 2 games in a row and then fall down all the way back to 10th. Go up 5 spots, go down 3 spots.
Who do you think? So, my final question before we close off: who do you think is the best team in the association right now?
The best team, man. If you know me, I have to show respect where it's due. Denver did win the championship, even though they're 10-4. Jokic is still right now unstoppable. Like, so I'm gonna say the Nuggets, but right behind them, it's either the Sixers or the Celtics.
I honestly would think Boston, to be honest.
Boston hasn't impressed me, to be honest. I know the record is different, but like when you play hard on them, like the Heat do every year, and you play with them like with aggression, they kind of fold like cheap paper. So
I hope Brandon saw that
because they don't have that edge anymore. Udoka gave them that edge. They don't have it anymore. They're soft. And then when you have a team that's strong enough, like the Sixers or the Bucks, when they're really aggressive and they're really defensively, they're really physical. Jaylen Brown gets started to be turnover prone. Jason Tatum, he gets a little bit twitchy. I'm letting everybody know right now. Don't be surprised if the Sixers can go all the way this year. The Sixers.
Okay. We shall see. But with that, that's going to conclude tonight's episode. This was episode 118 of the Plug Talk Sports, a live show. Again, we thank you guys for tuning in, week out. Stay tuned to all of our social media on X, aka Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. just for any updates. And finally, we hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your families, and you guys get some rest and just be able to enjoy. And looking forward to some good food. So I hope you guys enjoy. And again, thank you everyone for tuning in every Monday night. And we'll see you guys next week for a brand new episode. Have a good night.
Support the troops.